It was a tragedy that claimed 3 lives and forever changed one family. On July 29, 2014, Nigel Ramcharan, his wife Nanda, and their 13-year-old son Nairan were killed when a BK Holdings truck crossed the median of the Uriah Butler Highway and landed on their vehicle. Their 2 surviving sons were left orphaned. Although legal proceedings were started years ago, those claims were later withdrawn. The claim has a complex legal history. In 2018, Nigel Ramcharan's older brother Rakesh was appointed to represent the estates of their deceased parents and younger brother and filed a lawsuit against another driver involved in the same crash. However, after a separate High Court case found that BK Holdings' driver, not the defendants named in that lawsuit, was responsible for causing the fatal collision, the claim was withdrawn because it had been brought against the wrong parties. Justice Frank Seepersad, in his ruling today, later observed that there were several opportunities to add the correct defendants and suggested that poor legal advice may have contributed to the delay. Now, today, the court has granted one of the surviving children, Nigel Ramcharan, permission to continue the fight for compensation on behalf of the estates of his parents and brother. Justice Seepersad ruled that while the claim was technically filed outside the statutory limitation period, the court had the discretion to allow it to proceed in the interest of justice. The judge found Nigel Ramcharan should not bear the consequences of earlier legal decisions made by others, saying, quote, "The present claimant should not bear the irrevocable consequences of those decisions, especially since he neither controlled nor directed that litigation." Justice Seepersad also found the defendants had not demonstrated that allowing the matter to proceed would cause any real prejudice. Instead, he noted the accident had already been the subject of years of litigation, investigations, and judicial findings. Seepersad said, quote, "The administration of justice is not advanced by the mechanical application of limitation periods where the very objectives those provisions seek to protect remain intact. Refusing relief would elevate chronology above justice and transform a statute intended to promote fairness into an instrument of unfairness and oppression," end quote. The judge said limitation laws are meant to promote fairness, certainty, and finality, not to become technical barriers that prevent deserving claims from being heard. He said, quote, "Justice must never become the prisoner of procedure. Although the court has found that the instant claim was statute barred, it has exercised its discretion to disapply the limitation period and allow the matter to proceed," end quote. The judgment also includes a wider discussion on the role of artificial intelligence in the justice system. While acknowledging its usefulness for legal research, Justice Seepersad stressed that judicial discretion and the evaluation of evidence are constitutional responsibilities that must remain with judges. He said, quote, "Modern technologies, including artificial intelligence, may assist judges in legal research. It does not, however, displace the constitutional function of the judge. Judicial officers and judicial officers alone should determine the manner in which the disputes before them are resolved," end quote. The ruling clears the way for Nigel Ramcharan's claim to proceed, allowing the court to determine whether compensation should be awarded to the estates of his parents and younger brother 12 years after the crash that claimed their lives. Urvashi Tawari Rupnarayan, TV6 News.